For those of you listening on the pod,
thick.
Welcome into hour 2. That's how we get it started. Lord have mercy. All right, top 30 visit today, guys. We had Mr. SMU edge defender Elijah Roberts. Got to be honest, didn't see him as like this great player, like he's 105th on our big board, if I remember correctly. Started diving into it and was like, this dude looks very, very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. So let's before we get into the scouting report, has anybody got any initial? I like to ask this before we get into the details of what this player did in college, all the measurables, all that stuff. Do you guys have any kind of preconceived notions on Elijah Roberts out of, is it Southern Methodist? Is that what it is, guys?
Yeah, SMU.
No.
I freaking love him.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Anybody else?
I think he's a dog out there at the edge. I haven't seen a bunch on him. I would tell you his card if I had one in Ultimate Team, Clay, but I don't for my boy.
I mean,
just loaded up the Xbox to check, didn't you? Go ahead, Jake.
I mean, just real quick. I mean, you look at his grades; they're phenomenal, like absolutely insane. I mean, granted, it's SMU, so take that with a grain of salt. But 2022 has a 72.9 playing 10 games. 2023 a 91.3 playing 14 games. 2024 shows that that's no fluke. He's a 91.1. Dude had 8 sacks this last year, 13 in 2023. He had 45 hurries. I'll say that again: 45 hurries in 2024. In 2023, he had 47. I really love what he does. The true pass set rush grade of 90.7 and a pass rush win rate of 22.4% and a run stop rate of 8.5%. I mean, he's absolutely. Oh, and he's most mocked to the Packers by double. I really like that. Really like it.
Chris the Casual in with the super chat. Thank you, sir. He says mock draft Monday loud. We may have to.
You're ready to go.
Too old for this because mock list Monday. So we'll try to get into it. Let's stop through this top 30. We may hold a top 30 off until tomorrow and go ahead and get a mock draft in this evening because the reality is we're 10 days away and there's going to be no more.
That's crazy. Wow.
It's wild. So here we go. The Green Bay Packers have reportedly scheduled a top 30 visit with SMU edge rusher Elijah Roberts, per team sources targeting him as a power-based prospect in the 2025 NFL Draft, ranked number 105 on the PTA Big Board. Roberts brings a sturdy 6'3.5", 285-pound frame with strength and short area burst, offering Green Bay a potential rational end to fortify their defensive front. That weight might be wrong. We'll double-check it here in a second. Look at this boy in high school. Look at this guy right here. You kidding me?
That's a grown-ass man, dog.
I wonder if they checked the birth certificate in high school. I'm just saying. All right. So here's the scouting report coming out. A 4-star recruit from Columbus High School in Miami, Florida in the 2020 class. Elijah Roberts earned an 89.67 grade from On3 at 6'3", 260. He dominated as a defensive end with 12 sacks and 20 tackles for a loss as a senior, showcasing raw power and quick first step. His wrestling background added leverage and balance, earning him all Dade County honors. So he was an all Dade County wrestler. We need to put that on the board.
Trust me. He's already getting it.
Wrestler, not a wrestler.
He was the captain too, wasn't he? I believe he had the C on the shirt.
Yeah, captain as well. Ranked number 28 among Florida prospects by On3, Roberts committed to Miami over offers from Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, seen as a high motor talent with NFL potential. Jacob was mentioning the PFF grades. Now you can see here, early on, he was in Miami first. The PFF grade 67.3, 59.0, jumped to a 72.9, pretty solid. And then when he transferred over to SMU, getting a ton of playing time, 91.3, 91.1. You can look at that one of two ways. Some people look at that and go, hey, he's playing lesser talent. True. But you can also look at it and go, when you play lesser talent, you better dominate. And this dude dominated.
You want to hear lesser talent that he played against? Nevada. Then it was UConn, I believe. Then BYU, TCU, Florida State, Louisville, Stanford, Duke, Pitt, Virginia, Cal, Penn State, and Clemson.
Dude, there's some solid programs.
What's his lesser talent that he's played against? Come on.
And his best game was against Clemson, was it not?
Come on now.
Let's go. All right, college stats. Roberts' 5-year career across Miami and SMU reflects steady growth. In 2020, he played 5 games at Miami, recording 4 tackles and 1 forced fumble. In 21, he appeared in 9 games with 8 tackles and a half sack. So you're seeing not much playing time there. Even though he's playing in those games, he's not getting many snaps, right? In 22, he played 10 games with 9 tackles. Then he transferred to SMU, and look at the stats blow up. He broke out in 2023 playing 14 games with 37 tackles, 9.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 2 pass breakups. In 24, he started 13 games, earning all ACC honorable mention with 35 tackles, 7.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 pass breakup. His career totals 51 games, 93 tackles, 17.5 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, and 3 pass breakups. So the big thing at Miami, I think the reason he transferred was like, man, I'm not getting any playing time, right? I'm not getting limited snaps. So very, very interesting there. When we move
111 snaps in 22 to 642 in 23, 590 in 24. This is a guy that needs to be on the field.
Yeah,
for sure.
And SMU was fired up to get him in-house.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, detailed scouting report. This is from Dane Bruler. A 2-year starter at SMU, Roberts lined up primarily as an edge defender, the 7 to the 9 tech. So he's in one of those wide techs, right? And defensive coordinator Scott Simons, however you say it, 4-man base line. He struggled to find a consistent role in 3 years at Miami, but he flourished with the Mustangs and combined for 131 pressures over the past 2 seasons, number 1 in the FBS over that span.
Let's go.
Roberts has a very unique body type for an edge rusher, but he knows how to affect the quarterback by leaning into his strengths, specifically his long arms and ability to create force-hit contact, especially if the blocker plays with wide hands and invites Roberts' signature bull rush into his chest. He drops his weight against the run, locks out, and holds his own at the point of attack, although his range was inconsistent when working off contact. Overall, Roberts is more deliberate than dynamic as an athlete. He accelerates well in short areas, though, and power is the foundation of his game. What does Greg Cosell say all the time? You've got to be able to play with power at the NFL level. Got to. Let's see. It says which shows both as a pass rusher and an edge setter. His uniqueness might scare off some teams, but he has the goods to be a rotational edge with upside on the interior. When you look at the RAS, he scored a 6.84. So this is one of those guys. He's a tape guy. He's a production guy. Emilio, what was it that Dingo Jeremiah and Bucky Brooks said? You've got traits and you got production, and you got to find that balance between traits and production. This is a production guy, no doubt about it. 10 1/4 inch hands, got big old paws on that boy. 33.63 on the arm length, 6'3", 285. That 285 scoring a 9.45. He carries that weight well. Ran a 4.78 40 at 285. Is really impressive. So yeah, pretty solid across the board. I know it doesn't like jump off the page at you, but measured out pretty well with that arm length. That's something that Goody will have his eyes on for sure. So injury and character concerns. Roberts has been durable, playing 51 games over 5 seasons with no major injuries reported. He played through minor ankle soreness in 2023 at SMU, missing no games, and showed resilience in 2024's physical ACC schedule. Off the field, he's a high character leader, named a 2024 SMU team captain after transferring from Miami. Coaches praise his work ethic and adaptability across defensive schemes with no off-field issues. His wrestling background underscores his discipline, earning respect on both programs. And it said, you notice it didn't mention anything about a hand injury. Look at my boy out there playing with
a cast. You see the cast on the hand. I was just going to say.
I love that they didn't mention it too. Like, doesn't even matter. Said, hey, let's strap up. Let's go.
Yeah, that's what he said, right? Wrap it up. Let's go. Get me on the field.
So here's how he's looked across the board in terms of like where he's been projected. Okay. So at the end of, or right there around January, he takes a spike up to about the 150 spot. And then in February, no more football has been played. All of a sudden he dips all the way down to like 244. And then by February 25th, he's back about where he started. He peaked around March 21st, and now it looks like he's dropped down a little bit more. Now, when you look at the mock drafts here that's been recently done, and on April 10th, he was a 7th-round pick, according to Draft Countdown. And then on April 4th, a little earlier than that, though, he was a 3rd-round pick by Cameron Henderson over at Bear Goggles On. Pretty cool name there, by the way. I hate the Bears, but that's pretty funny. We'll play off beer goggles there. Emilio's had beer goggles a couple times in his youth, I promise you. A couple times. CBS had him in round 3 on April 2nd. March 26th, they had him in the 6th round. Gang Green Nation had him go in the 5th round in March. 12th Man Rising, I'm sure that's a Seahawks website, had him go in the 3rd round in mid-March. They had him going to Green Bay. Jacob Westendorf had him in the 6th round, March 13th. So he's somewhere between the 3rd and the 6th to 7th round. So this guy, he may be a 3rd round pick. He may be hovering around until the 6th round. That's what it says your draft projection. Elijah Roberts projects as a 3rd to 6th round pick in 2025 NFL draft, aligning with his 105 ranking on our PTA big board. His power, pressure, production, and fit as a 3-4 base end match Green Bay's defensive needs. Obviously, it's talking about that versatility if you're going to play a base end. At 280 is kind of the cutoff when you're in a 34 front. If he could play edge, that makes for a really good edge setter in a 4-3 front. Yep. His ceiling is a reliable starter if he refines his counters, while his floor is a high-end backup with special teams value. The Packers visit highlights their interest in his unique tools, and his Shrine Bowl performance could solidify his draft stock. What's your all's thoughts, Jacob? How you feel about this guy after reading all that, man?
I really, really like him. I just don't quite understand where Goody would justify taking this pick. I mean, you don't see many prospects where it's like, yeah, he could go between round 2 and 7. It's like, yeah, that's the draft. I would personally think that he's closer. Yeah, just like Drew's saying here, I think he's closer to the 3rd or 2nd round, honestly. Like, I really do think that somebody could surprise, that one GM could take a chance on him, you know what I mean? And really think that he's got the tools. I mean, you can't argue with that production. And I would argue that as far as like the RAS goes, that's not terrible in any capacity, you know? Yep. And if, especially teams that would utilize somebody like with that versatility, I think he could play if in a pinch, if you had to kick him inside and maybe do like more of a 5, a 3 tech every now and then. And obviously he said he did the wide 9 and the 7s in college. So, you know, almost 6'4" and almost 300 pounds. That's a pretty good plug and play guy anywhere on that defensive line.
Yeah. Okay. And H.E. Solder here saying too, captain and wrestler.
Let's go.
It's on the board, H.E. Now let me add to this, Jacob. Here, Elijah Roberts ran his numbers on RAS as a D tackle. Okay. His height was a 7'8", his weight was 252. Vertical was an 8.52. Broad was a 9.67. 40-yard dash was a 9.87, and his shuttle was a 4.0. His RAS as a D tackle, 9.35.
Let's go. Yeah. Hey, and again, man, you can – what did he weigh in at, 285 at the combine?
285. And Consensus has him as a D lineman. PFF has him as an edge.
As an edge, yep.
Yeah.
So, man, that's what you do when you can play from 4 or 4I all the way to wide 9, right? Like, put them anywhere, like Jacob said.
That's very interesting, man, because you get yourself in a pinch and you could kick him inside a little bit.
Yep.
That's really exciting. Really exciting. Yeah. Seems like he plays with a mean streak, too. You know what I mean? So, there you go. Elijah Roberts. Anything else on him, guys?
No, you had me at off the field. He's a high character leader.
Well, and plus the fact that 51 games over 5 seasons with basically no injuries, like the guy's he's a workhorse. I like that.
Yep. And he's got the versatility factor too. We should note that for sure.
Did you put the V in there, Emilio?
The V? Ooh. No, I can.
Probably need to do that. That's a good call.
Man. Yeah. This is a guy, I mean, he can play in the 34 or the 4-3, you know. We can move him around.
I think Chris said it best. He goes, "This man has a unique set of skills."
So I got a question.
Liam Neeson of the draft.
That's right.
I got a question for you boys. I was really excited about hitting on Ty Felton, and I know Tim was as well. If we do a mock draft, we probably need to hang that over till tomorrow. Is that cool with everybody?